Today we continue our celebration of Black figures in church history. Clara Brown was a former enslaved woman from Virginia who became a community leader, philanthropist, and aided settlement of former slaves during the time of Colorado's gold rush. She was known as the Angel of the Rockies and made her mark as Colorado's first Black settler and a prosperous entrepreneur. She was born in Virginia in 1800. She married a slave named Richard at the age of 18, and together they had 4 children. In 1835, Brown's family was broken apart when they were all sold to different slave owners. When Brown was 56, she received her freedom and was required by law to leave the state. She worked her way west on an 8-week journey to Denver, Colorado, as a cook on a wagon train filled with male prospectors. Brown settled in a mining town now called Central City, Colorado. She was one of the founding members of the non-denominational Union Sunday School through her affiliation with 2 Methodist missionary ministers. Following the tide of miners headed into the mountains, Brown set up the first laundry, and she also worked as a midwife, cook, and nursemaid. Brown's income grew substantially when she expanded her laundry business by taking on a partner. She invested her earnings in mine claims and land, and within several years had earned $10,000 in savings, which now is equivalent to more than $300,000. She also owned 16 lots in Denver, 7 houses in Central City, and property and mines in Boulder, Georgetown, and Idaho Springs. Brown gave generously of herself to those in the community. She hosted the first Methodist church services at her house and helped those in need in any way she could, whether newly settled Euro-Americans or Native Americans. She was lovingly called Aunt Clara. Her home was a hospital, a house to others, a general refuge for those who were sick or in poverty. She was quoted as saying, "I always go where Jesus calls me." The Catholic Church and the first Protestant church in the Rockies were built partly through Brown's donations towards their construction. At the end of the Civil War, Brown could freely travel and liquidated all of her assets to travel to Kentucky to find her daughter. Although she was unsuccessful, she paved the way for 16 more relatives and others who were former slaves to move to Colorado. Finally, in 1882, she was reunited with Eliza Jane and her daughter's daughter.